Hello, my name is Dan Faringer, and I'm your professor for your CPS 161 course. This course is a little bit different because it is blended hybrid, meaning we're online, we will meet Mondays, but you will have a lot of responsibilities outside of class to do versus me sitting here lecturing you the whole time. This class, we learned C++. Good news is, even though it's a new language, we have the same author. The Gaddis is going to be the author for this textbook, as same guy that you had for CPS 121. Some of you remember me because I took over your 121 class, and some of you don't. So it's nice to meet everyone. And I think I've allowed overloads, and this is going to be a really big class. The cap is supposed to be 20, and I think we're closer to 30. So it's a big class, which is good. It's a real good thing. If we were meeting normally, which we're not, because we missed that first Monday, January 20th is Martin Luther King Day. We don't meet, but we can't lose that entire week of class. So after you watch this video, I'm expecting you to be doing a bunch of work so that first Monday, January 27th, we can hit the ground running and get right into chapter 3 and go from there. You're going to be a little bit familiar with the C++. First thing I would normally do, share my screen and go to the syllabus. Here's the syllabus. When we go back to D2L, I'll show you where the syllabus is. But as you can see, this is an online course. I do not have a phone number because I don't have an office. I work from home by way of Zoom meeting. 3 credits. We meet Mondays, 12:30 to 1:45. I have 2 classes before this one, so it's going to be a busy Monday day for me. I do have a link if you want to schedule an office hour. We go through something called Calendly, and I will show you that when we go back to the D2L page. Again, as you know, this is a remote class. Those of you that I had in 121, I had a nice core of students who had their cameras on regularly. And it was great having that interaction between me and them. I can see what's going on, and I strongly recommend you have your cameras on because otherwise students tend to hide and they don't put themselves out there as much. Again, you don't have to have it on, but I strongly encourage you to be involved. Talk to let everybody see what you look like. Description of the course, something we're required to put in. And as you can see, the textbook starting out with C, same except instead of Java, we have the C++. And this is the 9th edition by Gaddis. Learning outcomes, they're all listed here. Grading policy. 90% and above is an A, 80 to 90 is a B, so on and so on. I put tentative to change up here because I may add an assignment, I may delete assignment, but you can see we have code listings, which actually in this textbook, they're not called code listings like they were in the Java book. They're called programs, but I'll use those things interchangeably. 11 or 12 programs, 2 tests at 100 points each, and a final exam at 150 points for a total of 700 points. There will be 2 tests. They will be given online. We will be using Respondus Lockdown browser. I will give you a practice test to go to make sure everything is up and running. And something that I have to start new this year is the side cameras. And it's a math and computer science department policy. So you may be familiar with what I'm talking about when the time comes, but I'll give you more information to follow. I don't accept anything late, but I will allow a makeup for a test or the final, a makeup, just one, but it's got to be for a good reason. Um, Oversleeping, not a good reason. Okay. Car wreck, good reason. So you need to have a good reason for why you're going to miss it. You have to let me know by email as soon as possible, and then we can get that rescheduled so you can take it as soon as possible, not fall behind. Computer programs, I mentioned there's a bunch of them in there. Couple of things. I don't know why I have JGrass. Oh, earlier on, I have you do a couple of programs in JGrass because we're going to compare them to programs in C++ and how they're related. One thing that I've used for years is something called Bloodshed. It's easy to use. I know a lot of you are using VS Code for Java programs. You can use VS Code for C++ programs as well. I use it once in a while, but just like JGrasp for Java, that's what I've used for 15 years, and to up and change, yeah, we'll see. Okay. No programs will be accepted late. They must compile and run, because I can't just look at lines of code and say, I'll give you 6 out of 20. Well, why didn't I get 7? Well, if it doesn't compile and run, I can't give you any. Sometimes you may not have all of the stuff the program requires, but what you do have compiles and runs, and I can give you a grade based on that. In the textbook, things are called programs. Right? They're blocks of code. I call them code listings just because that's what was in our Java book. All of these are available now, or well, when the semester starts, and they will have due dates. And the due dates will be before the class starts, the day we're going to use them in class. So you need to type them up, get them to compile, and get them to run. Here's something on academic policy. You can read it. The important line is down here at the bottom, zero tolerance policy. I get some every semester who will test me, and some might get away with it. Doesn't help you down the road. But I will say I catch a couple every semester, and I withdraw with a grade of an F right away. So to let you know, I can get to these things online. You can have someone help you until it comes to submitting something. Then that's a no. Tutoring, not sure if they will have a ComSci tutor or not, but you can always check. Here's a link to get to that point. I expect you to come to class. Those of you who've had me before, you know I start on time because we don't have a lot of time, being that this class is meeting just live 1 day a week. So it's somewhere between a regular class and a completely online class. But I think the lecture part will really help you. But if you miss a bunch of classes under these definitions, I can withdraw you if I want. Withdrawals, you can withdraw. Early on, you can get some money back, but you can withdraw up until the 70th percent point of the class. I don't know when that is, but I know some students would rather withdraw than get an F on their report card, or a D, or sometimes even a C. So that's information about withdrawal. Other information, where do you withdraw? Same place you added the course. One thing the school used to print up and give out to students is the student handbook. Uh, Most students prefer things digitally nowadays. So here's a link that you would use to get to it. Print it out if you want. I don't think anybody will. Need of accommodations. This is probably not your first semester, so you're familiar with if you need accommodations or not. But between the accommodations here and the non-discriminate policy, here's a bunch of information for you to look over. Gets updated every semester, so they're pretty active with everything that's going on. Okay. At this point, I normally say, are there any questions on the syllabus? But I'm going to answer that with no, because you can't answer my video. All right. A moment ago, I mentioned programs, so I'm going to jump into our textbook. And here's what I was talking about. Inside of each chapter are these little program 313. From the Java book, they were called code listing 313. Why he changed it, I don't know. Because we have regular programs that are assigned that we have to write the whole program. A lot of you have learned that typing these up, there's usually hints to actually doing the program that's going to be required for that chapter. So the program 313, code listing 313, he just changed the name on us. So that's that. All right, next up, we're going to take a look at our D2L site. Sure. And what's it look like? It's here, but I want to close it. It's here. Hopefully that flipped over and you can see it. This is our site. Those of you that had me for 121, you're going, yep, looks familiar. Same as the last class, but this is what it looks like. Here's the first week. Well, obviously you found the Zoom link or you wouldn't be listening to this video right now. First week of class, every week I'll put a weekly news up. This is due dates, other information. Throughout the week, I will be posting things in news as well, but I will be giving you something every week. And again, you know, this is an unusual first week of class, so this is what you need to get started with on Tuesday. Several things I want you to do. Start by downloading the syllabus. It's down here at the bottom and clicking on this link, which is the video you're watching right now. Then your IDE, what do you want to use? Do you want to use VS Code? You can. Do you want to use Bloodshed? You can. Bloodshed is old. Bloodshed is not, they don't update it. So there's a couple of things that we may do that Bloodshed, some functions that are built into Bloodshed may not work on VS Code and vice versa. I found Bloodshed to be super easy to use, but that is up to you. You just need to turn in .cpp files to me when it comes time to your program, to do your program. But some of you use VS Code for Java, that's fine. Stay with VS Code. Either one works for me. All right, here's Bloodshed and here's how you would download it. I can show you an example of what Bloodshed looks like. I think I have it on my computer. Again, we're not meeting until the 27th, but things I want you to have done beforehand, read through chapter 2 and watch the lecture. Well, down here's the lecture on chapter 2. These are videos from a previous semester. On Monday, we're starting chapter 3, so these are going to be the videos. They'll be in here for this semester. So if you miss a day, you can watch these. You want to watch these before class? I've had students actually do that, and they enjoyed doing it and got them way ahead for when we started the lecture. But chapter 2 is here. What's going on in chapter 2? So read through it, get code listings 3 ready before the start of class on Monday. Okay, here's Zoom. Here's going to be where I'm posting our new videos. Here's videos from previous semester. Here's where you're going to click to meet with me for office hours. Office hours are Tuesday and Wednesday from 10 a.m. to noon. Not many students choose to do that so much in a computer science class, but please feel free to do it. All right, coming back up top to the nav bar. This is the course home. I click it, it brings us right here. Content. If I take a look under content, here's the syllabus, and it's in there as well. Here's something called computer science. Oh, it's a student view one. Let me open it. Oh, well. PowerPoints. Here is our textbook. Here is each section has a PowerPoint each chapter, chapter 6, chapter 7. Some students like to use those when it comes to a test. They can look over those and check out the test. Here's review questions. Your test will have a lot of multiple choice and so forth. These are the answers to the review questions at the end of each chapter, if you wanted to look over those to practice. So I'm giving you lots of resources to work with. If some of you want to use VS Code instead of Bloodshed, I saved these from another professor, and this will help you get up and running. It's much more technical than Bloodshed, but once you get it and start using it, you'll learn how to use it, I think, fairly quickly. That's all under content. Okay, discussions. Well, we have an assignment coming up. Excuse me. We have an assignment. 3.2 was due yesterday, and I liked mine. I'm going to post 3.2 right here for everybody else to see. That way I'm paying it forward. Some point somebody else may post one that I couldn't get working, and I get to go in and look at it and say, oh, is that how you do it? So it's helping each other out by paying it forward. We'll do some things in class, but if you have questions, chapter 6 functions, hey, anybody, can somebody help me with this block of code? I can't seem to get it to work. Use the class discussion board. The more active that is, I find the better the classes are. Still in the nav bar, the Dropbox. Oh boy. Assignment 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Code listings. Remember, they're called program in the book. There's all the code listings. All the code listings will be open January 20th. They will be due before the start of class that Monday. Cool. Class list. Hey, that guy's name was Kyle. I'm going to shoot Kyle an email and ask him if he can explain blah, 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 blah. You can always see the class list. And as you can see, it's a big class for computer science. All of your grades, they're listed here. Ooh, man, that's a lot of grades. Not pulling any punches. You can see everything that's there. And quizzes. This is where your tests are going to be. You'll have from 12:01 a.m. to 11:59 p.m. to take it, but you only have a certain amount of time. So once you start it, you have to complete it in a sitting, and I think it's either 90 minutes or 2 hours. Again, you're going to be using that lockdown browser, but you're going to have to use a side camera. And again, most of you are familiar with this from your math classes, but I will eventually send you some more information. Okay, so I come back to course home. I did the syllabus, talked about the programs, talked about the practice test, making the day one video. I think we're pretty good. So if you have any questions, feel free to email me before we meet the first time. But let's get up and get running and not procrastinate and have a good semester. So I'll see you soon.